How's it going, Sha?
You know what? Okay.
Yeah?
Don't hold me to that, but okay. Yeah,
Okay. I'm
yeah,
happy to hear that. What
yeah.
brings you there?
I don't know, and I don't wanna question it. I don't wanna examine it. I'm just gonna sit in it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's the wondering and the "huh" and the I'm just gonna, "Okay, this is fine."
Okay.
That's where I wanna be with it.
That's good.
Yeah. How about you? How you doing?
I'm good. I am so right now,
Mhm.
if I'm being honest, I am
Uh,
in a moment of like I'm in that moment in my life where like I feel like this is your consistent like hurdle issue. Like right now, I know I have a lot of work to do over the next 4 weeks.
mhm,
I could see it. I know what I need to do,
mhm,
and I know I have enough time to do it.
mhm.
And this is usually when I don't do it,
Right.
right? Like right now, I know I'm supposed to be on it. Like
Yes.
if and I know if I start from today, it'll work out.
Mhm,
If I start in 3 weeks, it'll still work out, but be very stressful.
mhm.
And I'm trying to convince me to be on it today.
Yes.
And that's where I'm at. Like I see the
Okay.
things I got to do. I want to start today. Um, what tends to happen is I work really hard at something I don't need to do,
Okay.
you know? Like right now, I got some writing I need to get done. I should be
Mhm,
doing it.
mhm.
Instead, I'm probably gonna make a really bad rap song. Like I'm gonna invest a lot of time in making a beat. I'm gonna write some
Mhm.
lyrics,
Right.
and I'm gonna professionally record a really elaborate song for myself. Like no one's gonna hear it. Um but it's gonna be done really well.
Uh-huh.
And I'm gonna justify it because I have a long-term comedy project I want to
Mm.
do involving rap songs.
Oh, so that's your justification.
Right. Like, but it's
Yes.
definitely not a thing I need to do today. Like
Yes.
this is like, oh, I'm gonna do that in like 2025,
Okay.
you know?
Yeah.
But me today is like, yo, you can work on that right now, you know? So that's
Mhm.
that's the challenge I'm facing. Like right this moment, I know I have like three things that I have the right amount of time to do, sincerely,
Right. Mhm,
but I do need to start doing them.
mhm.
And everything in me tells me, yo, do the other fun thing that there's no stakes on.
What about your lists? Do you feel bad here's a question because I know you write, 30 item lists to
Yeah.
do every 12 hours. Do you feel bad when you don't do a thing on the list?
The one day, no. But if it's like consistently on the list, yeah,
Mm,
it'll eat
okay.
at me a lot. Um, like I try to make one big list for the month,
Okay.
and I usually break that down into little things. And then
Mhm.
once a month, I feel hyper motivated and make a big list for
Okay.
that one day. Um, what tends to happen is I get like about 90% of the list done, like for the month. Whatever's
Right.
on the list tends to get done, but there are like 3 to 4 items that I constantly push off.
Right. Are they the same items that just keep
Yeah,
make it
for
from
sure.
month to month to month?
Same one, always. There's like three
Okay.
things that like linger for like 6 months. And overall, I'm still more productive than most people just because I have a list. So I'm winning, but I'm not
Just because of the list.
just because of the list. Like it,
Okay.
it forces me to do something. Like even if it ain't the thing I should have done, I did
Mhm.
more.
Right.
But it ain't the thing I want to do
Mhm.
because the thing I want to do, admittedly, is like it's hard. They're like, oh, like I might actually struggle at this. Whereas the other
Yeah.
things are important, but I know I could do them.
Yes.
So
Okay. So then it's not your list that you're battling, it's, your fear.
yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah, sure. Can you put fear on the list? Do you
That's a
know what
good
I mean?
question, huh?
Like, can you when you write your list, how far do you break it down? Like, do you need a deeper list? Here's why I ask. I got a couple of things that I need to get done this week. One is an amount of reading, like preparation reading, and one is writing.
Right.
So I made a list of those things and I put hours next to them that I was going to work on those things. And I broke up the things too. So I was going to work on each thing in a day, a couple of hours that day,
Okay.
but not you know what I mean? So I had like 30 minutes for a couple of little 30-minute blocks for a couple of things that ended up each thing took possibly 5 minutes. So once I finished the first third thing, that wasn't in the third because I'm like, I need to allow time to get distracted and to stare off
That's
into
real.
space and to look at Twitter, but then look at my watch and go, I got 5 minutes to finish this thing that I could have done in three. But once I did the first one and saw it was short, I was like, well, let me do the other one. And then I got to still dilly dally and finish them both within a 30-minute chunk.
Okay.
Right? And then I went ahead and I think I ate for the other 30 minutes that I should have been doing the other thing. I had a free 30 minutes, so I just sat around and ate. And then and then I had the 2 hours for the reading thing,
Okay.
for the prep thing. And I read up to a point and then I fell asleep. I dozed off. And I woke up, read a little more, dozed off, woke up, my 2 hours were up. I said, well, I'll get back to this later because I have it scheduled for another 2-hour block later in the day. And then I did the other thing where I was writing. And that was a little bit tougher for me to get started on. But for 2 hours, I was trying and trying and trying and didn't get too far. Then took a break from all of it, walked away from all of it, and then came back and went into the writing one and then got further in it.
Okay.
Far enough that I didn't get back to the 2-hour block of reading, which I then pushed into the next day. And then once I pushed into the next day and I got into it, I just let that be the thing I did for that day and got much further on it than I expected to because I thought I was just going to keep falling asleep on it.
Right.
So I wonder, I mean, you already have your list the way they are, but I wonder if you can work in the fear in your list. You know what I mean? Like I think I wrote cuz I'm worried about the writing thing. I'm scared
Right.
of what it is I have to do with it. So I was like, here's the time for me to be scared about it and blah 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 and attempt it and start it and attempt it and then I walk away from it and then come back later that day and then stop and start but then actually get going
Right.
because I allowed myself time to be like, oh, in the first block. The first block is the whoa, and then the second block is the well, I already had those thoughts. I can't think that all day.
Right.
So maybe I should just try it and see what happens.
I like that.
And I can't guarantee that it'll work. I mean, that was just kind of new to me to put times down.
Yeah.
But it, kind of helped me it helped shame me a little bit,
Yeah.
but it also helped me keep track of time rather than just saying, "Oh, I said I would do this," and suddenly 3 hours have passed. It's like, "No, I only have 2, so I need to."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cuz
I don't
I've
know.
been the only thing that's been helping me get through it is there's a comedian who I don't believe is funny and has been very successful.
Uh-huh.
And I will say they work hard.
Yes. Yeah.
So, like, I'm
That's
constantly
the
like,
key.
"Damn, they woulda done that, or they woulda got
Right.
this done by now." So, I'm constantly just saying that person's name.
Oh, that's good. That's a good one. I like how we're coming up with ways to
Yeah.
figure this out, to get over our humps.
That's been helping me. I don't like it because I feel like it's coming from a bad place.
I mean, but it's but results.
But yeah,
I mean, but results,
because
you
like
know?
the thing I also try to keep in mind is like at some point my kid is gonna ask me, and I don't want that to be the answer, but also like that's the answer.
Right,
That's
yeah. I
that's what
mean,
moves me.
you can't help what keeps you motivated. And I don't know if it's coming from a necessarily bad place. You're using them as a battery in your back.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean you hate the person.
Yeah, I
I
think the
mean, you're
person's
yeah,
fine.
yeah, but you're just like, well, if they can do this, I can do this. And a
Yeah,
lot of people sometimes people will hear that and they're just like, "Oh, that's terrible." Um but I don't mean that. I don't wish that person ill will. Honestly, I need them to keep doing stuff so that I can be like, "Oh, well, if they can do that, I can
right.
certainly," you know? Um yeah, so it's not necessarily like a I don't know. Is it envy if it gets you going, or is it just a motivating factor? Is it
Man.
a catalyst or is it jealousy? Like what that all depends on you, really.
Yo, real talk, low key, that sounded like an R&B lyric right there. I was like, oh shit. I can hear that one being sung right there.
Oh my goodness.
That's just got dope, yo. Was it jealousy? Okay, okay. I felt that shit.
It's
See the
all in
video with
however
somebody
you
throwing
spin it.
dishes across the room. I'm
You
telling you,
know,
yo,
it makes you get your shit together.
straight up.
So, I mean, as long as you're not actively hurting anyone, like, I mean, I guess if it keeps you moving,
I've
then
I,
that's
I
good.
wouldn't hurt anybody, but I have given serious thought to like doing that like TV thing where like people print out like their picture and put like the crosshairs on it.
Okay, well, that's a lot.
That's a lot, right? Okay. All
That
right.
that feels a little more into hate. I would save that for someone that you are, uh that for your more intimate relationships.
Okay.
Not romance, but I mean, like, any sort of friendship gone wrong or someone who's really hurt you, really knows you and really hurt you, they get the
Yeah.
crosshairs.
Okay. I'm just
Uh,
trying to like beat what they achieve.
yeah, that can just be a name on a Post-it.
Okay.
Yeah, we can
What if
just
I
put that
have
on
like
a
the
Post-it.
list on my wall?
Yeah, whatever. I mean, that's a little prisony, but I mean, it works. I maybe,
I'm also always scared that like I'm a collab with like a comic and forget that I have it up, and then they're gonna come to my
yeah,
office.
yeah, for sure. So you may wanna give nicknames or
Yeah,
something so that you know what that means if it's going to be posted in a place where people might see it. Beware of your TikToks. Make sure that's not
in
in
like
the
the background and
background.
shit.
Just like, why is there a sign that says hit list on you? Ignore that part.
Oh man, I'm just trying to get motivated. I'm trying to make sure I stay on my shit because
Right.
I'm telling you, like I am more and more seeing people that, admittedly, like I feel like I work hard, but I have seen people that work harder,
Mhm.
and I don't necessarily like the work they're doing, but I have
Yeah.
to admit that it is consistently coming out.
Right. Yes.
Like that
Yeah.
is the thing they do well. They will churn out material,
Mhm.
and because of that, they do get more things.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's rough. It's a reckoning of sorts, you
Yeah,
know? It is.
right.
But, don't use it as much as you can use it, but don't let it, like, stop you or hamstring or string you or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, don't like, if it helps you to say their name
Yeah.
in your head like a mantra. I've definitely chanted a few names while running on the treadmill, uh, followed by "I hate you." I've done that. It's usually if I've joined a gym, it is so that I can run on a treadmill, run the hate out. So,
Real talk.
that's yeah.
I was looking at joining the gym for that for part of that too. Like,
Yeah, I mean, it's very helpful. It's
yeah.
very helpful because you're full of rage and you
Yeah.
don't know what to do with it.
I broke my
Eh
slam ball.
you're what?
I have a slam ball. I broke it. I broke the slam, it's like an exercise ball. It's like a
Oh.
medicine ball, but when you
Oh,
throw
yeah,
it,
yeah,
it doesn't
yeah.
bounce.
Yes.
So, like, it's
Yes.
meant for slamming, like, you throw it on the floor and it doesn't bounce back. It stays on the floor.
Right.
Um
I've seen those, but I'm not sure how they're supposed to help you work out, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, it's cool because like, it's a heavier ball than normal. So when
Mhm.
you're doing the exercise of throwing it, it actually, like, incorporates a
Oh,
lot of muscles, and also, if you're slamming it against the floor, you're forced to do a squat because you have to pick it up every time. So it's like a
gotcha.
weird full body workout that admittedly, I don't do to work out, I do it to blow off steam. Like, I don't do
Right,
it every
and you
day.
how did you break it?
I slammed it. Like, I the thing that it's supposed to be built for, I did it
Uh-huh.
too much. And I broke the thing.
Wow.
So, they're supposed to last, like, a certain amount of I know mine did not.
No,
Um,
I imagine not.
but, it
Yeah,
felt
I don't know if they're built for hate.
yeah. Yeah, I'm realizing that now. That wasn't in the warranty.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
but it was a sign. I was like, "They should join the gym." They're like,
Mhm.
let their warranty and their, like, their consumer grade products. I think they should handle my rage a little more. But yeah, I'm just trying to find, like, I don't know, it might be wrong. I don't know, like, if I was trying to find, like, positive ways of motivating myself because, like,
Mm,
I have kids and I want to be not I don't only want to do well, I want to be able to tell them why I do well in a way that I'm okay with. Like real talk, like I rock with Kobe, like, RIP, like the stuff but like the shit that moved him scares me. I don't want to tell those stories to my kid, you know what I mean? Like it's just wild. Like and like
what
I would have
moved
enjoyed them like 20-year-old Gastor single dude that like is hyper competitive. That's still in me, admittedly, like in my heart.
right.
I have moments of that. But
Mhm.
like as a parent, I don't want to be like, yo, what motivated you? Y'all wanted to murder everybody in the game. You know what I mean? Like that sounds wild vicious. You know what I mean? Like you know, that whole
Sure,
like Jordan
sure.
meme where like, and I took that personal. Like, I don't
Right,
want to be
yeah.
that dude. But like, admittedly, like when I do shit well, it comes from that place. And I don't
Uh-huh.
know if I don't want to be that because then I know that, and I don't lie to my kids about certain like those type of things. And like, I
Mhm.
don't want to have to say, yeah, like the key to success is to really hate, like this other,
Right,
I feel
yes,
like
sure.
I feel like there are people that are motivated different, like in the ways that I wish I was motivated. And I'm not sure if that's something that I don't have or that I can learn. And
Alright,
that's what I'm
well
trying to figure out. Like I'm right now is a moment where like I'm acknowledging I want to motivate myself to get something done. And I
mhm.
know the way to do that. I just don't want to do it that way.
Okay. Alright. Yeah, I get you. I get you. You're trying to grow.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh shit. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, that's tough to acknowledge. That's tough to acknowledge you're trying to grow. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's it. Like I want to be better. I feel like if I'm able to figure that out, I'm a better example.
Mhm.
But I admittedly don't know what that is right now. Like I don't know how to do that. I
Right.
know that if I do it this other way, it'll 100% work. I just don't
Right.
like having that be the way that it works because then I have to when my kids ask me, I have to be truthful and say that. In particular, like my son scares me with that because I know he has that already.
Right.
Like he's driven that way. My daughter is not. I think I could work with her easier to explain like what other people see, and she'll be like, oh, okay, I should just not learn this particular trait from my dad. Whereas,
I think it'll show up differently.
yeah,
I think she has it. I think it'll show up differently. Yeah. Just and also when they ask you something about that, maybe get them to talk instead of telling them what you do. Because they're asking for a reason.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Because they've approached they've hit that wall. They've hit something
Yeah.
where they're like, huh, well, this is what I want to do. Just do classic fucking therapist. Well, how do you think, how, if you could in a perfect world, how, what would make you want to move forward? How would you talk yourself into it? What do
Yeah.
you feel or think? You know what I mean? Find out what it is that they are thinking, because they may not be thinking it in that way at all. And then they've come to you and you're like, yeah, no, I'm trying to crack skulls. And they're like, yikes, I didn't know this was an option. Um,
Okay. Yeah,
you
that's dope.
know?
I like that.
Yeah. So like find out what it is, because it may be the same thing, but it may not. Like they're like you, but they're different.
Yeah.
And so the way to find out how they're remember that they are different.
Yeah.
Um, because I think that will go far too, is if you always acknowledge that although they are like you, they are a lot like you, and you can see yourself in them. You will always see yourself because you always center yourself to some
Right.
extent. So take a moment to see what it is that how they are seeing things, how they are thinking things through, and all of that stuff. I feel like and then from there you may be able to just kind of talk about your journey through it in a way that will make better sense to them, because you've heard what their journey is beginning to be.
Right. I dig
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I think so. If since that is part of your concern with it.
Yeah.
And that it is a process, that there's no, everyone has to figure that out and it could take years.
Right.
That there was a switch to your process in your 30s. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like at a time that you would think, nope, everything's set. Nothing is ever set. It's
That's dope.
all, yeah, it's all fluid, yada, yada, yada.
Ah, we growing as
Mm.
people on this podcast, baby.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I don't know if that helps anyone out there. I don't know if it helps anyone in general.
We here for personal growth on the War Report, baby.
Yeah, so I'm just saying shit. I just read a lot of dear I read a lot of advice columns, and then I go, "That's not right. That's not the right answer." And so what you are hearing is what my answer would be. Now,
Amen.
keep in mind I don't actually live a life, but I watch a lot of it. So that's where this is coming from.
Sending your questions to Sha. Uh,
Yeah.
what I mean, we'll answer them on the show. Let's get into the news.
Alrighty.
This Canadian community just unveiled a statue dedicated to Cheeto dust. That's right. The bright orange sticky residue that Cheetos leave on your fingertips has now been immortalized by a 17-foot statue in Alberta, Canada. The Cheetos brand erected the statue of a hand holding a massive Cheeto, complete with orange fingertips, in Cheadle, Alberta. The community
Oh.
the community was chosen obviously because of their name similarity to Cheetle, the company's official name for Cheeto dust. Uh
Whoop, look, yeah, gotta stop you right there.
yeah,
There is an official name for Cheeto dust.
straight up. I didn't know that, and I worked there.
So, and it is Cheetle, which I want to spell for the listeners.
Please.
Cheetle.
Cheetle.
Cheetle. Cheetle.
Huh.
Yes. So I just wanted to make sure we all mark that down. If you're driving, pull over, write that down. That's Cheetle.
And
Cheetle.
I found that on dictionary.com, and it was published January 2nd of 2020. So this isn't even like a new thing.
Oh, okay. So they've been rocking with this name for a
Oh,
minute.
Cheeto's been part of the brand. Go figure.
Yeah. Wow.
Cheetos fans have always known that the delicious cheesy dust on their fingertips is unmistakably delicious, part of the Cheeto experience. But now it officially has a name, Cheeto, said Lisa Alley, the senior marketing director at PepsiCo. Uh, we're excited to be celebrating Cheeto with Canadians, cheesy Cheeto dusted fingertips on such a grand scale in such a uniquely mischievous way. The statue stands at 17 feet tall. The
Uh,
unique piece of art won't stay in Cheeto forever. The Cheeto residents will have until November 4th to enjoy it before it continues on a tour to various locations in Canada.
all right, that's a lot. I mean,
The city of Cheeto has 83 people.
that's like, what are we doing? What
Yo,
are we
that's what's up, B.
doing? All
Yeah.
right. I mean, look, anyone who stood in front of the Oscar Mayer hot dog bus knows the thrill it is to be next to branded art. But all right. I mean, I guess talk to me when you get to like North America. Let me know when you get to the United States.
I'm into this. I don't know. I want to take a picture with it. This is
Yeah,
dope.
I'm sure you will, and I'm sure people will line up. When I see that Oscar Mayer wiener truck, I also wanna take a picture with it. I've seen it many times in my life. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Have you seen Yeah, I don't know how often it gets in the New York area. I don't
Actually, my friend Robin, who's a listener of the show, she used to drive the truck.
Wow, shout out to you. That's a lot of responsibility,
Straight
Robin.
up. She like drove it for a few years as her gig. She was dope. She's gonna do
Yeah,
like a one-man show, I think, at some point about it. I
as
was
she
at
should,
Hell yeah. I was like, yo,
as
this
she
comes up
should.
too often in your stories. Like there's a lot of there's a lot of history here that you've lived. You
Yeah,
should share
yeah.
it, you know?
I find when you have one job that is just like, "What?"
Yeah,
Everything tracks back to that one job.
of
So,
course.
yeah.
It's like
So, absolutely.
you know how like people remember like their life through like boyfriends or like at like schools. Like I think
Right.
that's like a marker in people's lives if you work the job like that. So
Yes.
most
Yeah,
definite.
yeah. Everything is pre-hot dog truck and post.
I love it. In other
So,
news, $100 million campaign aims to fix Jesus's brand from followers' damage. That's right. $100 million effort launched this year is blanketing cities and the web, aiming to redeem Jesus's brand from the damage done by some of his followers. Billboards with messages like Jesus let his hair down too, and Jesus went all in too, have been posted in major markets like New York City and Las Vegas. The ads featured black and white online videos about Jesus as a rebel, an activist, or a host of a dinner party, and have been viewed by more than 300 million people, according to the
no.
organizers.
No. The host of a dinner party? That's what we doing? Okay.
The He Gets Us campaign, funded by the Signatory, a Christian foundation based in Kansas, will expand in the next few months with an updated website, an online store where people can get free gear if they forgive someone or welcome a stranger, and an
Nope.
outreach program for churches, all leading up to a Super Bowl ad.
No. Look, why are y'all acting like we don't know about Jesus? Why that
Yeah,
come
I didn't think
on.
he had brand recognition issues.
Yeah, I think he's fine. The problem isn't Jesus. Why are y'all putting this shit on Jesus? That's not the issue. The issue may be perhaps it's with the people who are trying to build a brand off of Jesus.
Yeah.
Like maybe that's the issue. Someone who's buying billboards for Jesus. I feel like Jesus don't need you to tell folks, hey, Jesus, he used to Millie Rock too. Look, the problem isn't Jesus. Y'all let I so understand. I don't understand. That's not the issue.
I'm just picture like so. Yeah, I was on street teams in high school. Like I don't think Jesus would
Right.
Jesus don't need a street team, B. You know what I
I
mean?
mean, he had those disciples, but I don't know how street teamy all of them were. Granted, I haven't really read the books.
It's fair. It's fair. You know what I
And
mean?
I feel like a couple of them probably weren't as loyal maybe as they could have been. I don't know. I don't know the particulars. I'm just saying we don't need Jesus had a posse t-shirts. You know what I mean?
Jesus went all in too. He
Yeah, I
did.
don't need like weird Jesus slogans on a fanny pack. Like that's unnecessary. Leading up to an ad at the Super Bowl?
Oh, they got bread. I feel like
Gee,
Jesus
mm.
would have spent that money differently. Like,
Do you feel like Jesus would have got that money?
you got $100 million to spend. Jesus would want you to do other things besides promoting Jesus.
I feel like Jesus would have turned that down. I feel like Jesus was a little more indie with it. I feel
Yeah.
like he was a little more independent artist with it.
Yeah, Jesus would have been on Raucous, okay?
Yeah. Not rockets. Oh man, Jesus would have dropped his album on Def Jux. What are you doing?
Oh man, you heard that new Jesus produced by High Tech? Shit crazy, yo.
Oh my god.
Oh man, keep it rocking, yo. Good luck with the campaign, Jesus.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh man. In other news, Apple's new crash detection feature on their iPhone 14s and Apple Watches call 911 when people ride roller coasters.
beautiful. Let's mix it up. Come on, fuck it up, fuck it up. Let's do it. It's time. It's time for Apple to just fucking lose its shit.
I love it.
It's been too smooth for too long. I need Apple to just be like, just let these phones fucking sparks. I want sparks out of everybody's pockets. It's time. It's time. Let's end this shit. I'm tired. I'm so tired.
Oh man. The feature, which works on new iPhone 14s and Apple Watches, is supposed to detect severe car crashes and help users reach emergency services. But it's been mistaking roller coaster rides for crashes. Sarah White, a 39-year-old dentist, told the Journal her iPhone 14 Pro automatically called 911 when she went on Mystic Timbers, a 109-foot tall roller coaster at Kings Island Amusement Park in Ohio. The ride reaches speeds of up to 53 miles per hour. The owner of this iPhone was in a severe car crash and is not responding to their phone. An automated voice call says to 911 before providing the longitude and latitude coordinates. Screams from others on the ride can be heard in the background of the call.
Come on, Apple. Fall apart for me. Just fall apart. That's what I want. Disintegrate right before my very eyes. Let's take it back to the landline. Come on. What is happening? Y'all doing too much. We doing too much.
The emergency services responded to the park but didn't see any such incident. Obviously, Warren County Communications Center, which received the call, gave the Journal 6 such recordings of unnecessary crash detections calls that it had received. This is happening at several parks, by the way. The solution is simple, apparently. Cell phones and other devices should not be brought abroad any attraction due to the dynamic movement you will be experiencing on this ride. Apple Watches and similar devices may activate their emergency call function to prevent your device from doing so. Please turn it off or enable the airplane mode.
You want me to not come on a ride? You want me to go somewhere without my $2,000 computer in my pocket? You know how much I am paying for this pocket computer? This bitch goes everywhere with me. We ride together, we die together. You hear me?
Bro, it's the most expensive thing most of us own.
Oh, absolutely. And we don't even fully own them. We never fully own them because at a year and a half, we traded in for the hotness. Nobody owns. I paid off my phone, and Apple was like, I mean, what?
You want to
I'm
keep
like, yeah, this is mine now.
that? Oh man, I love it.
This is so funny. This is what really made me laugh. An Apple spokesperson told the Journal the feature is, quote, extremely accurate in detecting severe crashes and will continue to improve with time. We can't help it that we made it so good. Fall apart, Apple.
Shalewa about to switch to green text gang. Okay.
Look, you okay? Actually, this reminds me. Remember how I don't know how long ago we covered it, where European courts were like, you know what, all phones need to have the mini USB thing
Yeah.
instead of what, and so they're going to go through with that, and so now by 2024, Apple phones have to have, and I mean that's European, but I imagine that will probably be the case. Like,
Yeah.
why would America still have to deal with this shit? And I was just like, yeah, get him. You know why? Because Apple fucked up. Apple fucked up how we listen to music. And Apple took away the headphone jack. There was no need to take away the headphone jack. Y'all need to burn for that shit. Burn. Absolutely.
You have no idea how much
so
I'm enjoying
angry.
this because I spent 20 minutes trying to get you to talk me out of being hateful to be motivated. And I see it comes out of shot. Okay? So I got it too. It's not just me.
You never know. You never know.